there's no place to go,
Yeah.
and you can't see.
Hundreds of cars, the visibility, as you said, down to a few hundred feet at times, winds gusting over 60 miles an hour, as much as 18 to 20 inches of snow south of Denver, right
Palmer Divide.
Palmer Divide.
We learned about that yesterday.
Yeah.
As far as what's going on in Denver right now, holy cow! I mean, night and day.
Another reason why I love the Colorado Rockies. This is after the storm, and look at there's not a cloud in the sky here right now.
All the snow melted.
Yeah,
there's no snow on the ground at all.
It really did. The temperature warmed up again today. All of that sunshine. So here the snow melted. Still a lot of snow cover though, and I'll show you that in just a second.
All right. So let's talk a little bit more about where we go from here. The storm is still cranking. Yeah, and we've got the snow, and we're not done with it yet.
That's correct. This was just before sunset a couple of hours ago, and what I've done here is you can see the spin in the atmosphere in the clouds, but I want to zoom in on Colorado here because this area here, this is not cloud cover. I just love this image because this is all of the fresh snow cover across the Colorado Rockies coming out to the I-25 corridor here. Nice, huh?
And there we go. I mean, all the ski resorts are quite happy. In fact, we just saw that new fresh snow and Steamboat means they're opening early this weekend, so how about that? But some really impressive snowfall totals to the tune of 2 feet.
Chupadero, Spanish Speaks, these areas, high elevations in the Rockies here, well over 2 feet of snow. Alta, they're loving it there with over a foot of snow in the Wasatch. Denver at the airport picked up 4 inches. We figured somewhere around 4 to 7 inches there last night. South of there, they got hammered, though.
Blizzard warning still in effect, though, Tom.
Yeah, we do. We had these through about 11 p.m. tonight, and that is because we still have this really heavy band of snow that is set up across this area.
Did I see a lightning bolt in there?
You have, and we not only
thunder snow.
It'll come again.
There it is, right there.
Well, not only thunder snow. Let's call it a thunder blizzard because the winds have been gusting to 50. So if you're going to do it, go all the way with this. And again, if you take a look at this, your winds are still gusting relatively high here, over 40 miles an hour in some of these areas right now. This will continue working its way up to the I-80 corridor around Kearney into Grand Island overnight tonight, and then eventually weaken tomorrow.
All right, Tom, thank you. So heads up, you know, I-80, I-70, these could be some areas. They're going to be impacted by weather. Some of it will be snow, some of it won't be, but the winds will be incredibly high for sure. Parts of Denver Metro, as we know, just got a bit of a dusting on the roadways. We know that. But let's join meteorologist right now from the Boulder office. Todd Dankers joins us. Todd, thanks for being with us. Your take on what has happened in the Denver Metro area today, and do you think that knowing that the pattern we're in, we could see a repeat of this multiple times, you know, over maybe the next month or so?
I think so. Certainly possible with the this active pattern we're seeing, quite a bit of westerly flow coming off the Pacific. So we'll just continue to watch for these maybe every week or so.
And, you know, it was fascinating yesterday to see the wind coming out of a northerly direction last night and into this morning. Upslope flow here, we typically talk about a northeast or easterly wind, but we didn't have that this time, and the snow maxes were in a little different area, weren't they?
That was it. Right along the foothills, didn't pick up very much, and that kind of shifted the where we were slightly west of north along the foothills. That pushed that boundary of heavier snow just kind of out to I-25, and then also quite a bit south over the Palmer Divide, where we had that rise in elevation helping out.
Todd, did you actually have any specific locations that verified blizzard conditions today?
I think so. Well, we had it was at 19 inches in Elizabeth, which is in the middle of Elbert County, a little bit northwest of Lyman. Lyman had a peak wind gust of 61 miles an hour. Even Denver Airport, about 4 o'clock this morning, had peak gust of 57 miles an hour with blowing snow. So those areas east of Denver and then over the Palmer Divide, certainly blizzard conditions, and out close to the eastern border, even into this afternoon, out near Goodland and Burlington, quite a bit of snow and the road closures, certainly a blizzard out there.
Well, hopefully things improve, and I saw from our sunset image there over Denver how beautiful it is. Nice forecast for tomorrow?
Yeah. It could be a little breezy. We're shift to this westerly flow, and the next jet stream coming in, we could be dealing with a little bit of a high wind issue near the foothills.
All right, Todd Dankers, thanks for being with us this evening. I think it is amazing. 4 inches of snow. Now there's nothing in Denver, and it's just another nice evening drive home.
Oh, it's amazing there. You know, it dries out quickly there. You get the sunshine, and a lot of that snow just sublimates. It just goes into the atmosphere.
I feel like there's no other place where it changes that quickly like Denver. All right, wild ride last night. We watched tornadoes tear across the Texas Panhandle live right here on Weather Underground. It appears that one of those tornadoes was a record setter. We show you the Pampa, Texas tornado's improbable place in history.
The cold truth is, if a cold keeps you up at night, you can't just catch up on sleep the next day. New Alka-Seltzer Plus Night Cold and Cough Liquid relieves tough cold symptoms and quiets coughs for up to 8 hours to help you sleep at night. New Alka-Seltzer Plus Night Liquid.
Brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You got to do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Want to be the house that all the neighbors stop by to admire? Then stop by Ace. We'll help you find the right lights, cords, and decorations to make your house shine. Come in now and choose from a variety of long-lasting, energy-saving LED lights for just $15.99 each.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Wait, you can't put it in like that. You have to rinse it first.
What's that, Alfredo? No, that can go in.
No, it can't.
What are you, nuts? That's baked on Alfredo.
It's all in the... No,
It's baked on, it's never gonna work.
Dish issues? Trust your dishwasher with Cascade Platinum. It powers through your toughest stuck-on food better than Finish.
See, told you it would work. You guys heard me say that, right?
Cascade, the tougher tough food cleaner.
Average work pants versus a grab-happy grizzly. Duluth Fire Hose work pants versus a grab-happy grizzly. Duluth Trading Fire Hose work pants. Tougher than a grizzly's grope. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Big savings on brakes have arrived at Pep Boys. This week only, get $40 off any brake service package starting at $99.99. So go ahead and schedule a same-day appointment at your local Pep Boys today. Trust the boys to get you there.
Happy, happy, happy for you and me. Happy, happy, happy for you.
Aww.
Oh, thank you.
Intel's best processor is here, which gives new PCs 3 times the battery life, so you never have to stop watching.
Thanks.
Happy, happy, happy for you and me. Happy, happy, happy for all to see. La 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 la. Whee! One more time.
Introducing Intel's new 6th generation core processor with 3 times the battery life. It's our best processor ever.
What's this? A box. It takes worn-out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Hi, I'm Heather Cox on location with the famous Big Idaho Potato Truck.
Our truck?
It's touring across America telling people about Idaho potatoes.
Let's go, boys.
Again this year, the Big Idaho Potato Truck is traveling the country, spreading the word about heart-healthy Idaho potatoes and making donations to local charities.
Excuse me, miss. Have you seen our truck?
You just missed it.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me?
Nothing artificial, just real roasted turkey, carved thick. That's the right way to make a good turkey sandwich. The right way to eat it is however you eat it. Panera, food as it should be.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow.
Making Christmas wishes come true from wherever you are, and having dreams delivered to your door. For some of us, that's all in a day's work. Shop the way you live, love the way you shop, and experience more wonder every day. Walmart.
This day in weather history, November 17th, 2013. An outbreak of 74 tornadoes hits 6 Midwest states. An EF4 tornado strikes Washington, Illinois with winds of 190 miles an hour. The tornado is on the ground for 46 miles and causes nearly $1 billion in damage. It becomes the strongest November tornado on record in the state.
Well, an EF4 tornado hit Washington, Illinois at about 11 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Many people were at church at the time, and thankfully cell phones began chirping out the storm warnings. People took cover in several church basements. We're here now with our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, remembering that day very vividly. It wasn't that long ago, and I just think for a lot of people, they don't really think that November is a month for outbreaks, but they certainly, November can produce huge outbreaks.
Well, it certainly can, but in particular, you don't expect it in November in Illinois. And it wound up being the most tornadoes on a November day in Illinois and the most tornado deaths on a November day in Illinois. So that 74 tornadoes for the U.S. as a whole was one of the largest November tornado outbreaks. We had 20-some probably, or several dozen tornadoes yesterday. That paled in comparison to 2013.
And we were just clobbered by tornadoes. Some of them were quite strong. But what do you think may have been one of those deals? If you mentioned Illinois, we're not thinking tornadoes in November. Sometimes we're thinking snow in November.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, and this was a very potent storm system. I mean, I went back today and I saw, they issued a high risk that day because the threat was so high for these kinds of storms. And I mean, you can see from this video here, this was the EF4 that struck Washington, Illinois. And this, we spoke to this man about, it's like, we were standing there filming this tornado, but you didn't take shelter. And he was like, well, I was just mesmerized from what I was seeing. I mean, to be able to be that close to something so incredibly powerful and fierce, I mean,
I distinctly remember him saying, like, he felt like almost he was not in control of his body because his mind was just in another place. Right. He couldn't comprehend what he was seeing, Dr. Forbes. And at one point, he finally was like, oh yeah, like my life is at risk here. I've got to go take some cover. What was happening that day atmospherically that caused it to be so violent?
Well, there was just a huge upper air charge of the upper air disturbance. It didn't hang back like what we've seen between yesterday and today. The upper low, the cold pocket loft has hung back. This one went charging right from the plains up toward the Midwest.
Yeah, it was a day a lot of us won't soon forget here at the Weather Channel. We had a lot of tornadoes yesterday. We had about 20 or so tornadoes yesterday.
Still counting.
Still counting, so that number might be going up. We had one in particular, by the way, that hit near Pampa, Texas, that may have actually been a record breaker. This was a pretty impressive tornado. We've seen it in multiple forms in video and in pictures, Dr. Forbes. At one point, it seems like we have a giant wedge tornado here.
Yeah, you can see it there illuminated by lightning. It's a big wedge. The estimates have been a mile wide. We'll have to see if it's that big, but certainly there were some big, long-lived supercells. I think probably we'll get some long-lived tornadoes out of this from last evening.
And to think about this one now, preliminary rating, they're not done with their survey just yet. Preliminary rating EF3.
Yes.
And why that's important is it now becomes the strongest westernmost tornado in November history in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. Like we said, the setup we saw yesterday was typical of something we might see in the month of May. So just incredible. Let's look at where these strongest tornadoes were. We have to go back all the way to 1958 to find one of them, and this one was in Oklahoma, in southern Oklahoma. That was an F3, Dr. Forbes, right? Look at that, 65.8 mile path length. Incredible.
Yeah, and we're not used to seeing tornadoes in November way out in West Texas. Houston, you might expect it. In fact, we talked about last night that Houston has a second November peak, but not that far west. This is out in an area where you're typically thinking it's cold at this time of year.
And so Pampa becomes west of both of those two tornadoes that happen. And by a good bit, by the way, why is it difficult for us to get something like this tornado happen this far west over in the Texas Panhandle this time of year?
Well, usually the upper low comes in and changes changes the winds around to southwest, and so the Gulf of Mexico moisture doesn't usually get that far west. It stays in, say, central Texas, central Oklahoma, up into central Kansas. So in this case, the moisture was there, and the tornadoes took advantage of it.
We were all mesmerized by it yesterday when we saw how big it was, and now knowing that it's likely a new record setter. Dr. Forbes, thank you very much. Hey, coming up, we're going to get you caught up on all the latest warnings out there. We're going to answer some of your questions, by the way, live on the show tonight. So do you have a question about severe weather, or do you have a question about Winter Storm Ajax? If you're on Twitter, use the hashtag WUTV for Weather Underground TV. Our experts will be here to answer your questions. Coming up next.
Every morning, Rudy gets these new Milk-Bone Good Morning Daily Vitamin Treats. They've got nutrients that aren't in most dog foods, and I get stuck with these. Hey, why don't I get a treat? Oh, that's right. I get pancakes. Say it with Milk-Bone.
If my hands are dried and cracked, I can't do my job efficiently.
My hands are dry from washing my hands lots of times a day.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry, cracked hands.
O'Keefe's works.
I saw it working for my husband, and I knew I had to try it.
Learn more at O'Keefe'sCompany.com.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
Where's the rain that's happening right now as you walk out the door?
A lot of people traveling, but we'll keep an eye on it for you.
Because the weather impacts your day in 100 ways you see and 1,000 ways you don't.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
So include us in your routine.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
A wind advisory is in effect. Tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of a rain shower, low 47. Wednesday, cloudy and windy, slight chance of a rain shower, high 61. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Love you too.
1 minute. We need to do this.
Letting go. It's a little easier when you've saved for college with State Farm.
If I want to go up,
Hello.
if I want to go down, but then if I want to come back again, it's perfect.
And there you have it.
And now, through December 1st, save hundreds on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses and adjustable bases. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
More stay per roll.
Sit. Sit.
More sit per roll.
Watch me. Roll over. Whoops.
More who's training who per roll. Bounty is 2 times more absorbent. So 1 roll of Bounty can last longer than those bargain brands. So you get more life per roll. Bounty, the long-lasting, quicker picker-upper. And try...
We don't run this machine 18 hours a day. We don't buy these. We don't sell these. No, our thing is providing the fastest, most reliable internet in your area. Speeds that leave the phone company behind. Call to discover how we can help you do whatever you do more efficiently and leave your competition behind. Suddenlink Business. More power to you.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm here by myself. Someone is messing with the front door.
Find a hiding place, like in a closet, okay?
Okay.
Try to stay quiet and don't worry.
Your home phone gave me your address.
Hurry.
The police are on their way.
Only a dedicated home phone line can instantly pinpoint your location for emergency operators. Cell phones can't. Keep your family safe for less than 33 cents a day with a home phone line from Suddenlink. Call today or go to suddenlink.com.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
Welcome back to Weather Underground. You have to check out this stunning photo from Pampa, Texas last night.
Amazing.
This is nuts. Jenny Brown snapped this incredible image. In just a few minutes, we're going to show you more amazing photos from last night's tornado outbreak. Some just as stunning as this, believe it or not. But what a way to capture this storm. By the way, you see the stars up in the sky above, the clouds that are lit behind by lightning, the tornado illuminated by lightning. To the left, by the way, we've got a wind farm. And then you've got the headlights from the car.
You see the full structure of the supercell thunderstorm there with the tornado coming out of it.
She's looking north, by the way. I found her location, so she's looking due north straight into the tornadic region.
Pretty wall cloud there, got a
precipitation
tail cloud
behind
on the
her.
right.
Captured the essence of a supercell thunderstorm. Let's get you up to date on the current weather right now, and Sarah's got to check that radar for us.
All right, well, Mike, the good thing is we're not seeing anything like that today. We've seen tornadoes, but nothing like what we saw yesterday. It's good news. Look what I've done. I've drawn in here the extent of the rain with this system. It goes all the way up into Canada and took it offshore. Over 1,800 miles of rain right now. So this just, I know, right? That just lets you know how expansive this system is. This thing is huge, and it's still going. Now, the good news is our severe warnings have dropped off, so things are starting to quiet down a little bit. This is still a heavy rain threat, though, and we can still see some of those green boxes there. You kind of see this line almost starting to slow down there as you watch it on the imagery. Flash flood warning, though, in effect in eastern Arkansas for Prairie, White, and Woodruff counties, and we're going to see these start to become a little bit more numerous in coverage as far as flash flood warnings go, because, I mean, just look at all the rain, and it's just kind of training over the same areas. So let's kind of get you a look at the forecast radar and let you see what this is going to look like as we go in tonight into tomorrow. So you're going to see this line continue to hold together, and it's going to track off to the east. By about 1:30 this morning, still should be moving into western Tennessee and into parts of Mississippi. And then by the time we get into tomorrow, that severe threat is going to be confined a little bit closer to the Gulf Coast in southern Alabama, southern Georgia. But for us here in Atlanta, we're certainly going to have the heavy rain threat as well as the rest of North Georgia. So we're going to be monitoring this. Good news is that is where the severe threat is for tomorrow. Our Torcons are about 3 or less, so lower chance of a tornado here in these areas for tomorrow, but severe thunderstorms certainly probable. Montgomery, maybe even a rubble of thunder or two in Atlanta. And there are your flash flood watches. Want to get those in there because that's really where our threat is going over the next couple of days.
Yeah, a lot of heavy rain is going to cause some issues there. Hey, by the way, it's time for you to directly interact with our experts this evening, segment we call Sounding Off. We do it every single day here. So Tom, Greg, Carl, and Sarah here to answer your questions about Winter Storm Ajax and severe weather. So let's get right to it right now. And our first question comes from Suzanne. Hi, guys, and Sarah. Hey. Shout out to the ladies. Please tell me I'm going to get through O'Hare without a weather delay on Wednesday. Next week?
Oh, she's asking about Thanksgiving. I told you people want holiday forecasts.
What do you see?
That's a little beyond what we'd be confident in putting out a forecast that far out. I just stay tuned to the Weather Channel here. You know, we've got a pretty active northern stream here. We've got a system that goes through Chicago Friday night into Saturday morning. Could put down 3 to 4 inches of snow. So be aware and just be prepared. Keep an eye on us.
And that means Chicago could get their first snow of the season just in a couple of days from now. All right, another question this evening. This one comes from Eric. Do you think the storm headed towards Chicago on Friday will earn a name? All right, Tom, let's put you on the spot again.
Okay. Boy, they love Chicago. At this point, I don't think so. I think we're going to see it's a fast-moving system. It's relatively moisture-starved, 3 to 4 inches into the Chicago area, maybe as much as 5 to 6 into lower Michigan. This is not the type of storm that would get us to winter storm warnings, and so I think we'll stay below criteria.
And what is the threshold for warnings in Chicago?
I believe they're 6 inches in 12 hours.
Okay.
I believe they are. So they'll stay below that at this point.
It's geographically latitude dependent a lot of times. You know, what we get for winter storm warnings, a lot less in the south, a lot more tolerance for snow across the north. All right, another question tonight. This one comes to us from Will. Do you think the tornado watch will be extended for the Jackson, Mississippi metro?
Possibly not. I was actually just looking at the Jackson, Mississippi Weather Service chat. They were saying that there's still a little bit of a cap kind of in the low to mid levels of the atmosphere. So they're saying they need a little bit more lift to kind of get that to break, which would give us more severe thunderstorms. That's not really happening right now. So the severe threat seems to be diminishing a little bit. Still not non-zero, but them extending a tornado watch, probably less likely.
It's just the stable air with clouds and rain today that limited it quite a bit.
And things are separating to some extent too, because you've got very warm and humid air down near the Gulf of Mexico, but the low-level jet is now pulling away from that, so they're getting farther apart, and then the cold air with the upper low is still well back and off to the west. So everything's kind of spreading out as compared to what we saw yesterday when it was really concentrated all in the same place.
And if we were to get tornadoes tonight, brief spin-ups in squall lines or what?
I would think that would be the case, yeah, and Mississippi is not out of the question, but it doesn't look like a real high threat.
All right, thank you very much for that question. All right, we've got one more question for you tonight. This one comes from Muffin Servers. Another Woo TV. How do you produce the Torcon values for the day? What goes into your forecast, Dr. Forbes?
Well, it's a subjective thing. I'm looking at three ingredients, basically. You have to have the instability to allow for big thunderstorms. You have to have low-level winds changing direction and increasing in speed with height to let the thunderstorms rotate. And then usually you have to have some kind of an upper air forcing to come in and really kick off the storms. That is largely a part that's lacking today, and the cold air aloft has held down the instability. We've had the shear in ample quantities, so different days give you different mixes, and I went with a Torcon of 5 today, but that looks a little high. Yesterday, maybe a little low.
All right, Dr. Forbes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And keep sending your questions, by the way. If you're on Twitter, you can use the hashtag WUTV, and we'll answer your questions again next hour. All right, stay with us right here on Weather Underground. Another hour coming your way in less than 1 minute. I want to leave you this hour with a look at some of the amazing images captured during last night's storms. Pretty amazing images for sure. Hey everyone, thanks for staying with us right here on this extended edition of Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis, and we're with you for the next 2 hours to bring you the latest on dangerous storms that threaten the Midwest and the Deep South. And tonight's storms come on the heels of last night's outbreak. We had more than 20 tornadoes reported. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, including this large tornado in Pampa, Texas. The National Weather Service preliminary rating is EF3. Winds could have been as high as 165 miles an hour. The tornado threat now moving east, and maybe not as strong and prevalent as it was yesterday. We're watching it for you very, very closely. We do have numerous watches out there right now. We are joined by storm specialist, expert weather producer Sarah Dillingham, keeping a close eye on that threat.
Yeah, you know, and like you said, what we saw yesterday was incredible. And the good news is we've seen things wind down a little bit. We even saw some tornadoes overnight in the wee hours of the morning when people were probably asleep, may not have even known it happened. So.
Yeah, but tornado watch is still in effect. We haven't seen a lot of warnings within those watches, though.
No, that's the good news. We are warningless at this point in time, so that kind of lets you know that things are starting to wind down a little bit. But nevertheless, we still have those tornado watches in effect. Let's take a look at those right now and see where they are. That one in southwestern Louisiana, that should expire within a matter of minutes. That was in effect until 6 local time. This other one that is in effect for eastern Louisiana does not include the New Orleans area, but does include Jackson, Mississippi. That one in effect for you until 8 Central Time. And that one little tornado watch box up there in eastern Arkansas does include Memphis. That's in effect until 9 Central Time. So we're going to be watching this. We do have that line of thunderstorms coming through now. And even last hour at this time, we had a severe thunderstorm and tornado warning pop southwest of Memphis. So still not a non-zero threat out there. We still have the potential for tornadoes for a little while.
And the thing about it is, too, even if you're not going to see tornadoes, what you know are the sexy storms that the people are always watching for, we've got some really strong winds that are going to hit us tonight that could cause some pretty extensive damage themselves.
There's still very strong winds in several levels of the atmosphere, and for that reason, we're looking at this possibility. Excuse me. So I want to show you what's going on with the upper low here. This is the big upper feature that's been coming into the Central Plains. So that's where the cold air aloft is right there. But then you've got warm and humid air that's really streaming up in this area. And now those two things are not as close to each other as they once were. So whereas yesterday we had warm and humid air coming right up and underneath that cold air and a lot of instability because of that difference in temperature, we're not seeing as much of that today.
So that's a good thing in this regards, but it's still dumping rain, and so flooding could become an issue in some circumstances here. But having said that, we still have some squall lines embedded within this.
Yeah, very much so. And there's also really strong low-level wind right up in here. And so it's just a little bit removed from where the greatest instability is, but still there is going to be potential for severe storms. There's a look at the current radar picture. You notice these are flash flood warnings that we've got right now. And so that is probably going to be one of the bigger concerns going forward. Just a lot of very, very heavy rain along with these storms.
And some storms that are coming through Louisiana, through Arkansas, some stronger storms that are headed toward the Memphis area as well.
Yeah, that's right. And so here on the radar picture, we'll get into that in a moment. First of all, these are all the wind reports from today. A lot of different reports of strong winds from across much of the Mid-South. We're seeing less of that right now. There are actually no severe warnings right now. These are flash flood warnings backing into Little Rock. And because of those very strong low-level winds, what you're doing is you're driving moisture up really quickly here and well to the north. So there's this incredible feed of moisture that's going well up here to the north, getting into mountainous terrain. So we're going to have this ongoing flash flood threat in these areas. And this is a look at the velocity data, and this is showing you those very strong winds. So here you've got in green and blue, that's the wind that's approaching the radar, and there in yellow and orange, that's the wind that's moving away from the radar. And the winds here getting up from 5,000 to 10,000 feet or as fast as 80, 85 miles per hour. I mean, they are screaming winds. So if we had more instability farther north, we'd really be talking about major severe weather tonight. But as it happens, again, those stronger upper level winds are beginning to outrun the greatest instability, which is farther south.
And the storms are basically right on the doorstep of Memphis right now. We have live camera for you, by the way, in Memphis, and that's pretty shaky camera already. You anticipate the winds going up as the squall line actually hits the city.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, you're going to be tapping into some of those stronger winds that are just off the ground, but in general, you've got very strong wind with this system coming in ahead of it and then coming in behind it as well. So this is the model forecast showing you going forward. The line of storms as it comes across the Tennessee Valley, getting into Jackson tonight, getting into Nashville very early tomorrow morning, Birmingham as well, and then moving over into Atlanta, we think tomorrow afternoon. But a lot of this will be losing its punch at that time. Maybe some severe storms right along the Gulf Coast tomorrow, but certainly the severe threat in general is going to be coming down.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the severe forecast for today, and severe storms anticipated there across parts of Mississippi, we think, and it's mostly going to be a damaging wind threat going forward. Torcon's not real high. I'm sure we're going to reassess this coming up here.
Yeah, Dr. Forbes even mentioned he thought that maybe the 5 that he assigned was a little bit too high for tonight.
I think so, yeah. I think we're going to bring it down and probably still see some tornado threat in southern parts of Mississippi and Louisiana. Lesser value, I would think, but still, again, this is where the instability is, so that's where there's going to be some potential for stronger storms.
So, but you know, if you had to do a checklist here, biggest threats, strong winds, flooding rain, and that may last for how much longer?
That's going to go on through tonight and certainly into the early part of tomorrow. Damaging wind threat. And then look at these rainfall totals here. Very large swath of 3 to 5 inches of rain. So that's easily going to be enough to bring us some flash flooding in some spots.
And that you know, begs the question, who's going to get what? When do we have to deal with it? How dangerous will the overnight travels be? How about tomorrow morning?
Yeah, you know, we're going to see this line continue to push east, and we noticed it slowed down. So those storms are going to try to start training over the same areas, and that's why our flood threat is increasing. And take a look at this video that we've just gotten in from Little Rock, Arkansas. This is where severe storms dumped more than 2 inches of rain earlier today. Now, the driver who posted this clip wrote, "Typically, our alley is a no-wake zone, but typically, there isn't 2 feet of water to surf through."
No-wake zone, huh?
Yeah, you know, and this guy's just barreling through there in his big old truck. You know, I mean, I'm going to tell you one thing. Your truck can still get flooded out. I hate to tell you.
I'm a man. I got a truck.
I'm going to drive fast.
How
It'll
many
be
times
okay.
have we seen someone in a pickup truck get stuck before?
We have, guys. Turn around, don't
times.
drown. Just don't drive through it. Find another way, please, if you can. It's sometimes it can be life and death. This one obviously was not, but still, you don't want to mess with a truck. Now, quickly, we do want to look at the severe threat for tomorrow. We have seen this area expand just a little bit further off to the north, so that includes most of the state of Alabama. We're still going to have a lot of that shear in the atmosphere, that turning of the winds that Dr. Forbes often talks about. So these storms are going to rotate. There will be a little bit of instability, so that could be enough to get these going. So the good news is that largely is a damaging wind threat. Couldn't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado with that line as it came through. So please be mindful of that in the south for tomorrow. Again, here are all of the flash flood watches that are currently in effect. You see they extend all the way from the Gulf Coast all the way north into southern Illinois, and that now includes parts of North Georgia, western South Carolina, and North Carolina. And this is kind of the setup. We're going to continue to see that jet stream, or that dip in the jet stream, push off to the east, but still bringing up that moist Gulf air, and that's going to help fire those thunderstorms for tomorrow. See those areas in red, and also areas further north potentially could see some severe thunderstorms as we go into Wednesday night. Still a severe and heavy rain threat. We're going to be watching that. And look at that, Mike. All of that rain even moves all the way up into New England and for the mid-Atlantic through Thursday. So this system is really going to make the rounds across the country.
Yeah, and it's very few people get missed by this one.
Yes.
It's just a soaker, probably right toward the weekend. All right, Sarah, thank you. Hey, a lot more to come on the show tonight, including a recent bout with severe weather, right? It produced supercell thunderstorms. And up next, we're going to head to the lab to take you inside a supercell to show you how one works and how it can produce violent tornadoes. And later, Winter Storm Ajax still going strong. Tom Nizzle shows us the issues it's still causing and when the roads will finally be passable.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 12 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Quiet! Mom has a headache!
Had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin, now available in gel tabs.
Want to be the house that all the neighbors stop by to admire? Then stop by Ace. We'll help you find the right lights, cords, and decorations to make your house shine. Come in now and choose from a variety of long-lasting, energy-saving LED lights for just $15.99 each.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Remember the hassle of vacuuming? Before, the Dyson V6 Motorhead Cleaner gave you powerful suction and standout performance without the hassle of a cord.
Oh, man. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim. State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Have you ever thought, I could never do that? Have you ever thought, you just didn't have anything left in the tank? Well, you do. Because the courage is already inside.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. Oh, and an award for best tasting hard cider. You're in our shot.
No, I'm not.
Strongbow!
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Miles Mouvet here, breaking down the word Fandango. Fan. Everything movie fans need. Dang. Guaranteed advance tickets. Dang, that's easy. Oh, as in, oh yeah. I can get free stuff and discounts as a Fandango VIP. Fandango! This is a permanent marker.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
And welcome back to Weather Underground. Right now we want to take a look at how torcons are defined. We've been talking about these a lot with that threat for tornadoes in the area. This is basically what it is. We take a 50-mile radius and there's a value assigned. In this case, we had a torcon of 5 today as well as yesterday. Now to get the threat, you multiply by 10, which basically means we have a 50% chance of seeing a tornado within this 50-mile radius from any given point. So now that you know how torcon is defined, we're going to send it to Mike Bettis in the lab, who has a little bit more of a scientific look about how tornadoes form.
Here in the Weather Underground lab, helping you understand tornadoes, the anatomy of them, and how you spot one on a Doppler radar. There's a look at it, the anatomy of a tornado, and this is what we're looking at two-dimensionally on a radar. We're looking at especially the reds in this, okay, because that's where you've got your hail core. And down on the periphery of that, one thing you'll notice is a hook echo, okay? And it's within that little fish hook right there is where you end up getting the most action within your supercell, and that's where the tornado lives. So if you can spot a hook echo with an inflow coming into that green inflow that then makes it become a hook, you're pretty well sure that you've got yourself, at the very least, a weak tornado. But this is 2 dimensions. Let's go 3 dimensions, because supercell thunderstorms can go tens of thousands of feet into the air, and it's not unheard of to have a supercell thunderstorm that goes 60,000 feet in the atmosphere. But it's way down low, that's what we're concerned with, underneath the bottom lowering base of this storm. That's where your tornado is, and that's where you have the most violent rotating winds in a storm. This is a complex feature, and it takes a lot of things to come together at just the right time for it to happen, including the winds that wrap around the tornado itself. Inflow winds, warm, moist air that wraps counterclockwise around the storm. Basically, you're creating a low pressure center right in the middle of that vortex, and air rushes inward and then wraps up and into the storm. But the other key feature may be the rear flank downdraft. Theory now is this cooler air from the upper portions of the storm also comes down and wraps into that inflow. And the two in combination can potentially produce tornadoes, or even the most violent of tornadoes. A key feature that we're still studying to this day. But it's not just those features. How about the wall cloud and the debris cloud? That wall cloud, by the way, a lowering base at the bottom of the supercell storm, can come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but when you have this lowering base, almost like a layer cake, if you will, that's where you're going to end up getting the most likely chances of a tornado forming. And then this is what you don't want to see right here, the debris cloud, because when you see that debris cloud, you know you've got a storm that's doing some damage. It's picking up dirt, it's picking up bushes, trees, grass, buildings, including homes, businesses, maybe even vehicles. The bigger, most violent tornadoes create the biggest debris clouds. But also keep in mind the vertical motion in a tornado, including central downdrafts in the most violent tornadoes. Basically what you're creating is the storm sucking down warm air out of the storm and creating a central downward motion in the tornado. And then on the periphery of that, you've got the return updrafts. That, right along the periphery of the storm, creating now shear at the edges. And it's at that shear zone where you may now be creating multiple vortices around the parent circulation. The most violent of tornadoes, very common to see multiple vortex spins all around that. And some of those can carry winds much stronger than the parent tornado itself. All right, severe weather outbreak day 2, not over yet. Strong thunderstorm will continue overnight, along with the threat for tornadoes and flooding. So we're going to track the risk once you go to bed tonight. Keeping a close eye on Memphis, Tennessee right now. The camera blowing all over the place. It's about to get very windy. Squall line is rolling through right now. Could produce torrential downpours. Memphis, inside is where you need to be. We check in on the radar and keep you safe next on Weather Underground.
The road becomes a mystery in the dark, and our love affair with the journey is lost. But we flood the darkness with brighter, whiter Sylvania headlights, and all mysteries are solved. Sylvania Silver Star Ultra, for everything ahead of you.
Think your heartburn pill works fast? Take the Zantac It Challenge. Zantac works in as little as 30 minutes. Nexium can take 24 hours. When heartburn strikes, take Zantac for faster relief than Nexium or your money back. Take the Zantac It Challenge.
I'm thankful for help
helping hands. And for this wonderful time of year that brings us all together, where all it takes to become part of the family is to sit down, give thanks, and share a beautiful meal together.
Share the wonder of the season and a meal you'll be thankful for. Walmart.
We know you have a morning routine. We have one too. 7 days a week, AMHQ is right here and weather ready.
A lot of people traveling, but we'll keep an eye on it for you.
So include us in your routine.
Let's get right to what you want, and that is the weather.
AMHQ, every morning starting at 5 on the Weather Channel.
It's getting difficult to find great employees. The market is competitive and the job seeker has more options. So what can you do to make your open position stand out? SouthernWestVirginiaJobs.com presents Hiring Tips 102. Salary is important to job seekers. Include at least a salary range in your job posting. List perks that make your company stand out. Use SouthernWestVirginiaJobs.com when looking for the best local job candidates. SouthernWestVirginiaJobs.com, local jobs for local people.
Why can't the lever push itself down?
So complicated.
This is so difficult.
There has got to be an easier way.
I know, honey.
Everything seems harder once you experience Suddenlink. We make it easier and faster than ever to connect with the content you love. Suddenlink, more power to you.
We are the party's last and only hope. Lord help us.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by LL Bean, guaranteed season after season.
And just like that, it's a whole new world outside. And jackets come out of hibernation. And we can feel the air. We can see it too. And we gear up and layer up and zip up. And we make the most of the new season. Because when the world is at its coldest, we're at our warmest. LL Bean. Guaranteed season after season.
A wind advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 53 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, considerable cloudiness, slight chance of a rain shower, low 48. Wednesday, cloudy and windy, slight chance of a rain shower, high 61. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Underground. This video is just into us from Spokane, Washington. Check out these huge trees that came down earlier today as high winds blew through the region. Now, northeast of Seattle, a man was killed when a tree crushed his car. The area has been hit with gusts up to 70 miles per hour. That is an enormous tree there. I mean, so that just lets you know how strong these winds are. That looks like a large spruce tree there. Just insane winds that they've been seeing there today. We've got some of the local storm reports that they've been seeing out of this area, and we did have some pine trees uprooted near the Spokane area, near the Whitworth campus. So we've seen some pretty strong wind gusts as well, and like they said, wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. Let's see if I can query one more of these just to the east of Loon Lake in Washington. So trees down on power lines, and we've seen numerous reports of other power lines down across the state. We take a broader look at this state now. The broader picture, you can see more of these. Well, I meant to look at these LSRs. Let's look at these storm reports. Look at this. Wind gust 58 miles per hour in Mission, Oregon, just there. And also look at that, a gust of 67 miles per hour. Just incredible what they're seeing over there right now. Winds are sustained in Seattle now at 28 miles per hour. And look at the rain, Mike, all the way from Portland to Seattle. Some heavy rain, potential flooding again. They've just been bombarded for the last several days.
Just got this text message from my aunt in Seattle. Had to start the generator at home.
Well,
so power's out.
Yeah.
So be ready for these high winds that are knocking out power in your neighborhood. Sarah, thanks for that update. But did you see this? This is flooding in Douglas County, Missouri.